Little boot review tonight, and tonight we've got the Red Wing Rovers, the 2950s. These are in the copper rough and tough leather, and I'm very grateful that Herring Shoes, my local bootmakers, have been kind enough to provide these boots for review. Most recently they provided these sawmills here. Had a month of those, so I'll be doing an update on those, about the break-in and the size and fitting on those. Probably going to be uploading that in the next couple of days. But today, brand new pair of boots to try out. So this is the Rover, as I said, and in terms of the Red Wing Heritage line, these are pretty new. These came out in winter 2018, as far as I'm aware. It was an update of Red Wing's 6-inch round toe boot range, and the name is after, or they're named after, 20th century machinists in cotton mills, which I guess were called Rovers. I didn't know that. But yeah, so updated boot, a couple of new features on these, speed hooks, and most importantly the coffee coloured crepe cushion sole, which was one of the main things which interested me about these boots. So we'll start off there. Really interesting sole, this. We'll come in for some close-ups for the whole boot in a minute, but as you can see there, it's not branded, it's simply got the legend cushion on it. It's got a gentle sort of stippled sort of texture to it. And I don't know if this is on any of the other Red Wing boots, so I was really keen to try this out. One of the things, if you've ever seen my channel before, I can't wear my boots pretty heavy, so unless it's sort of a Vibram lug, I do wear them quite hard. So I'll be really interested to see how these fare. One of the things I do tend to do, try and understand how these things are going to wear. A little bit geeky, but I do sort of make a comparison using a durometer tester just for the relative hardness of the rubber, and comparing it to the normal Red Wing cushion wedge that they have. Much more sort of traditional pattern there on the bottom of those 1907s. It is considerably harder. So this is coming as a reading of 62, and these are 52. So this is a pretty hard compound. So I'll be really interested to see how that wears. I think they're going to wear quite nicely, actually. In terms of the tread pattern, I'm not too concerned about having a relatively smooth pattern. Actually having it all on the deck from the get-go will actually mean that it's quite hard wearing, I think. These soles are generally sort of quite grippy, just because it's that sort of textured rubber, so I think that'll be absolutely fine. In terms of the leather, these are the rough and tough leather, so a really nice oiled leather, pull-up leather, so you can see the oils moving around the leather as you sort of manipulate it. And having had that on the 1907s as well, these have had very little care, or in fact no care, apart from a little bit of a brush off, and you can see they're picking up quite a nice patina. They've got a little bit of a shine, still relatively oily, probably could do with a little bit of conditioning, but yeah, really sort of nice patina over time. I do kind of like to run my boots a little bit dry just to get that sort of variation of colour. If you oil them right up, they'll go really, really dark. Nice consistent colour, really good for the leather, good for the waterproofing, but aesthetically I do like to run the touch dry. Right, so as I say, this is their new 6-inch boot. It's on the 8 last, which is the same last as you'll find in the Beckmans, the Iron Rangers, the Blacksmiths. Quite a generous last, plenty wide enough, designed to sort of accommodate a wider foot. And that takes me on to the fit. Generally, on my videos, I've always talked about going true to size on Red Wings. Certainly on the mock toes, I've always found my true size, which is UK 8, US 9, to be absolutely perfect. In fact, on the 875s, I couldn't have imagined going any smaller. But I did pick these up initially in the UK 8s. As you can see, I've got 2 boxes here from Herring. They were good enough to send me over the 7.5s as well. And actually, the 7.5s, which are the ones I've got out here and the ones that I'll be keeping, they are a much better fit. I don't know whether it's because it's a round toe rather than a mock toe, but just judging where my big toe was sitting, how nice and wide it was, immediately the 8s actually felt a touch too generous. So I have sized down on these, so these are 7.5 as opposed to my normal 8. and that does sort of seem to fit with conventional internet wisdom. The internet has told me time and time again, viewers have told me time and time again, I should be thinking about sizing down. Well, now I've given that a go, and certainly for a round toe boot in the 8 last, I think that's going to work quite nicely for me. But as ever, I will sort of do a follow-up video and share my thoughts on that. So I think probably what we'll do is we'll come over some close-ups and I'll go over the features. Just coming in for some close-ups, we'll start off with the sole. As I say, it's this really nice coffee-coloured cushion crepe wedge, and very interesting to see how they put that together. So a very sort of gentle texture on there. The Legend cushion, no Red Wing branding, which is quite interesting itself. Definitely a harder compound than the normal Christie soles that they use, so I'll be really interested to see how that wears. Any experience with that yourselves, please share that with me. If you know what other boots they might put that on, let me know, because I don't think I've seen any other Red Wing boots. So just moving up, you've got a nice contrast colour, sort of deep brown midsole, just at the bottom of the Goodyear welt. So if you're ever resoling these, you simply peel off below that line, or your bootmaker will peel off below that line and stick on a new sole, whatever you might like. Nice 360 leather welt around there, Goodyear welt. Really nice finishing. There's a sort of a little seam there which is invisible where the leather joins up. Really quite nicely put together. Then coming up, you've got the rough and tough leather. As I say, a nice sort of pull up. So plenty of oil in there, and it just sort of shuffles around as you put pressure on it, and then returns to its normal colour. Really enjoyed this on the 1907s. I think it's a really good leather. Triple stitched on the side there with a single white stitch and 2 dark ones. Double stitching on the heel cap. Red Wing heel caps I always find to be really robust. They always keep their shape really well, so if you're thinking about resoling these at any point, you're going to have plenty of life in these boots once these soles are worn down. Double stitch up the heel stay there. Bit of piping around the top. Interestingly, not many boots have it under Red Wing, but speed hooks on the top there, which really does help get these boots on and off nice and easily. A bellows tongue, which I'll show you the boot with the laces taken out so you can see that properly. So you've got a bellows tongue, so up to the 5th eyelet there. One of the things about breaking boots in is getting that bellows tongue broken in so you can get your heel nicely cupped back at the back there, and that really sort of helps prevent any rubs on the heel. So always work on getting your bellows tongue nice and broken in. Little label on the inside there. It's got the date of manufacture. So these are 0718. So these are probably some of the first ones that they made, because I think these were released towards the end of 18. On the inside, if I can get the light in there, you can see the Red Wing branded footbed. Now below that you've got a cork sort of midsole, and between those two sort of simple traditional sort of pieces of construction, you get a wonderfully fitting boot. As you can see, the insides aren't finished, or they aren't lined rather. So it's a simple construction but incredibly robust, and certainly a boot that you can be considering resoling in the future. So that pretty much brings us to the end of the review. Thank you again to Herring for making this possible and providing these boots for review. If you want to pick up some boots, I've got a discount code below for Herring, which will get you 10% off, which I think is great for Red Wings, because it's quite hard to find a discount. I will be doing some follow-up videos on these. I'll try and get a video done after about a month's wear, just to talk about how the fit went, whether it was the right thing to size down. I think it is. These are very comfortable out the box. And do a long-term review, maybe at 6 months or 12 months, just to really give you that full life experience with these boots. Now, as I say, Herring also provided the sawmills. These have had a good month's wear, done plenty of miles on these. These are pretty nicely broken in now, and in the next day or so I'll post a review of these just to share some experiences and show you how they're faring. If you haven't seen my channel before, please check it out. Lots of boot reviews, bit of denim, bit of everyday carry, fountain pens, pen knives, that sort of thing, bit of cycling, bit of guitar. Please do check it out. It might share some other common interests. If you thought this video was useful, please give it a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe. If you've had the Rovers and you've got any thoughts about them, please share below and tell me how you found them. Tell me how you found this this coffee wedge, because that's really interesting to me how that's going to wear. And I'll see you for the next video. Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye.